So, you want to know how to start reselling sneakers in 2021. This is the ultimate beginner's guide, and let's get straight into it. Who am I? My name is Jefferson, and I am a sneaker reseller. I've been reselling shoes for about 2 years. I'm 16 years old, and I've probably sold hundreds of pairs of shoes in my time. I've owned well over $10,000 worth of bots such as 𝙎𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙎 and 𝙎𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙎. This isn't flexing, this is just explaining my credibility and why you should listen to me. Hope that makes sense. This video is going to be fairly quick because I don't want it to drag on too long, but if you do enjoy, please do like and subscribe for the algorithm. Let's get straight into it. First thing you need to do, learn the market. And what I mean by that is know what prices shoes go for. It sounds simple, but it can take longer than you think. Download apps like StockX, Goat, Collect, eBay, Vinted, Depop, literally everything, and you want to start just looking at your favorite sneakers. Sign up for Instagram and follow loads of reselling accounts. I mean, once you start looking into this, look at your favorite celebrities, some of the smaller ones, which accounts are giving them shoes. Try and find this resale market and lock into it, because you want to watch every single thing they're doing, because if they're successful, if you can mimic that, you will be successful. Just do it better. Sign up for websites like restocks.net and Laced, because you can also sell on some of these platforms later down the line. Now, as well as knowing the market, you need to actually understand sneakers. You need to understand why people buy sneakers. You need to understand why they go for so much, and essentially why they are worth what they are worth. You need to know the difference between a Jordan 1 low, Jordan 1 mid, and Jordan 1 high. You know what the visual difference is and what the price difference is, retails, etc. You also want to understand how prices of shoes go up and down over time and how they can get rarer, but it's just good in general to kind of understand the whole sneakers market. I mean, if you do want to go into reselling it, it's literally all about the shoes. You also want to know how much shoes sell for on different platforms, because StockX and eBay are very different in my opinion, because mids on StockX might not be profitable, but selling them on sites like Facebook Marketplace and eBay, Depop, stuff like that, it can be very profitable, because honestly, I sold half the shoes I sell on StockX. I might not even be profitable. Apps like that do generally give worse prices. StockX, it's very easy to sell, very safe, whereas eBay people think can be a bit more dodgy. Don't worry, you will make mistakes. Personally, I ended up with a pair of Space Hippies. I got like 2 pairs of these, and I bought them for like £140, and now their price is like £15, £50, like something like that. It's stupidly low. This is just an L that you take. They happen, but you move. The next thing is the different avenues of reselling, and yeah, there are a few. Now, I'm going to be focusing on mainly EU, because I know they have like FLX points, and there's a whole kind of different loop with that, and there are so many different types of reselling. You have botting, like first come, first serve. You also have raffle botting, outlet flipping, kind of the whole in-store, queuing up, camping. I mean, there is so much, and let's actually start to discuss this, because different types of reselling is better for different types of people, and it depends a lot on school, free time, weekends, jobs, all that stuff. I started off with £50 like back in the day, and I bought myself a pair of Ultra Boosts from an outlet near me, and this didn't have a lid, but yeah, I managed to flip this for around £90, and like, that isn't a great flip, right? But it was the start, and it worked for me. So I don't want you to have the mindset going into reselling that you have to have thousands and thousands of dollars to buy your first bot, because that isn't true. But yeah, that is an example of outlet flipping. This is when you go to an outlet, find shoes that you can sell on sites like eBay, Depop, sometimes StockX if you're lucky, and then you buy them. These are normally less type shoes, but in my case, they were Ultra Boost. Now, this is a lot more applicable for people who live in cities and have a lot more spare time on weekends or sometimes weekdays when they get the stock in. It requires a lot of energy, but not many people do it. And it's kind of, especially in the UK, it's definitely a low-key flip. Not many people do it. If you do want to do that, I recommend having a good Depop store and eBay store, because once you can get a nice brand, you are selling pretty normal shoes. You're not going to be selling crazy hype shoes, which should mean sales are good. The next one is first come, first serve botting. And as I said, this requires a lot of money. This is big budget, but this is the one you'll probably make the most money on. Now, obviously, there's bots like Slap that I'll have in one of the corners there that only cost £25. But if you want to be going for the really, really big bots, Cyber, Kodai, Ganesh, they're all going to cost you thousands of dollars. I do not recommend starting with first come, first serve botting. I recommend getting into a different field that I'll mention. It also has so many costs with proxies, servers, the amount of time, setting up for releases. But yeah, this does take up a lot of time, and that's why first come, first serve botting isn't for everyone, but it's definitely a place that you will want to get to in reselling. The next one is going to be raffle botting, because this is one of the most preferable methods of reselling by far. It does take a lot less time once you are set up, but that entry barrier is very, very high. you need to have loads of emails, and I have actually made a video that will be in one of the corners on how to actually bulk generate Gmails. But with raffle botting, it does require quite a lot to start to get set up. But once you are set up, you are literally good to go. It's perfect for anyone who does have a busy job and is maybe only free on weekends. Raffles are normally open all week or for a longer time, so you don't have to rush. There isn't one specific drop date. The next one is in-store campouts. Now this one has been stopped a lot in COVID, but I recommend kind of tagging this one on the side of another one, because this is one you can pretty much do with every single one I'm going to mention, and you've just got to do your research, follow the local stores, and it'll probably surprise you how many there are around you. Normally, if it's a Foot Locker, a size store, even a skate shop, sometimes there'll be kind of a drop, and you've got to get there at 4 a.m., you know, the day before, and camp outside. Now, obviously, that's not for everyone. I've done it myself. It's a good experience. I do recommend doing it at least once, just because, like, it's good for the soul, you know, and it is a fun experience. You get to meet lots of other resellers and botters and a whole different mix of people. So yeah, that one is a bit of a different one, better for people really in the cities who have a lot of spare time. Now the next one is Instagram reselling / flipping used pairs. And Instagram reselling is a great method because it allows you to build up a store, build up a whole clientele, and is probably one of the best methods, simply just because of the brand you build, but it does require a lot of effort. With flipping used pairs, this is a really low entry barrier. You can buy some, you know, used pairs of Yeezy creams for like 80 to 120 pounds. You can clean them up, you can flip them on sites like GOAT, you can flip them on eBay, Depop. A little bit of effort in cleaning up these shoes can go a long way and is a really, really good way to get started. And the last one, that's probably one of the most profitable, if not the most profitable and easiest, is it's exactly what stores do, and they buy pairs right after release for pretty medium to high prices, and then they sell them in the store. This kind of assumes that because it's a store, they can sell them for a premium, and also that the shoe is going to go up in value over time. So this helps a lot. They buy it, maybe wait a month, and they can sell it. This is kind of the whole holding and selling. It's risky, but normally if you're sticking with good shoes, a Jordan 1, Yeezy base size, you will be rewarded. One problem with this though is it does require a lot of capital, and you're sitting on pairs for a long time. It's not that lucrative to begin with. Once you get the ball rolling, it'll be really good. Now, choose a few of these avenues. Don't just pick one and stick to it. Try all of them, see which one works for you. Also, like I said, do consider your time, do consider what works for you, because this will make a difference overall in, you know, how much effort you can put into sneaker botting. I also recommend joining a cook group. This is one of the biggest things, and this is all about information. Information is not cheap. You have to pay for information. Do not join a free cook group. Also, do not join an in-stock cook group, because if they're already in stock, how valuable can that information be? You want to go on Twitter, kind of get in the sneaker Twitter community. You also want to follow me while you're there, link in the description. And you want to turn on post notifications for a bunch of cook groups. I'm in Essentials EU, and that's perfect for me. There are so many different cook groups out there for different people in different regions that specialize in different things. Go and have a look, see which ones you like, but try and cop on a restock. But there's a reason why cook groups literally resell. There's a reason they're on Bot Broker. It's because information is valuable, and joining a free one or one that's in stock, you're only wasting your money. But you will soon realize that information is worth paying for, because that is probably the number one thing that'll actually get you the most pairs. The first few months will always be the hardest. Building stock, generating followers, getting the bot set up, figuring out what works for you. But you've got to work hard for those first few months. Social media and building up Instagram is probably one of the hardest ones, because there is quite a close-knit group there that is very hard to kind of get into, because you have to get so much stock and regularly update. I personally don't do that. I'm a big eBay seller. I like to sell a lot on eBay just because of how simple and how much I like the platform. But like I said, try and just diversify where you're selling as much as possible. The main reason why people give up on sneaker reselling is just because they can't be bothered to invest the amount of time. So you always want to be thinking about that while you're doing this. You want to be thinking, you know, first of all, can you get a different job, a part-time job? You can earn more money in for less effort, probably. But, you know, if you really want to do sneaker botting, these are the challenges within it. And this is why this is the ultimate beginner's guide, because this is almost just a big warning. One of my other tips is become an expert in something. This might sound quite simple and easy to say, but becoming specialized in one thing is so important for kind of developing your career as someone in the sneaker industry. Now, I know not everyone wants to be like a public figure, and that's not what I'm necessarily saying. A lot of alternate ways how you can make money kind of within this whole industry. You know, you can get paid to be bot support staff, bot staff, proxy staff, and obviously working on stuff like Instagram, becoming really good at raffle botting, becoming specialized in one of these industries can actually pay off a lot, because like I said, you can get paid to be staff. People and communication and contacts are honestly some of the most important things within this industry. If I didn't know the people I knew, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't have the same opportunities, and I wouldn't get to work with as many people. You will honestly make more money if you can become friends with as many people as possible and kind of network and share your resources, because they'll know stuff you don't know, you'll know stuff they don't know, and actually working together, you'll perform much better as a reseller. For example, if you're in a bot server, try and contribute as much as possible, and if you do get noticed, you can actually become staff and get paid. Reselling, this whole sneaker industry has so many avenues down it. I only listed a few. Finally, I do want to say, get your expectations right. Now, this does require a lot of hard work, a lot of time, and sneaker reselling in general is hard work, and you'll always find these people who have the magic sneaker accounts, right? They'll do one entry and they will get a £600 Travis Scott shoe, and they'll be able to sell it and make loads of money. And you'll be like, oh, why can't I have that? And, you know, probably some of you watching, that is you, right? And you're making money so easily, and I am jealous of you because I've never had it like that. And most people don't have it like that. Don't rely on stuff like sneakers to win. And if you are, rely on it properly. It's probability to a certain extent. So enter as many accounts as you can and set them up correctly, have the right virtual cards, do as much prep as you can, because when it comes to these pairs, you have got to want them more than other people, and that is what it comes down to. Who wants the pairs more? Don't just kind of crave after these big Travis Scott and Off-White shoes, because they are pretty hard to sell. They go for £600. A mid you can sell for £140, £120. Although profit is a lot less on the mids, yes, it's easier to sell, you can get more in volume, and you can sell more easier. So you'll actually figure out pretty quickly, by selling mids, you can make good money, you can get lots of them, you can sell lots of them, easier to sell, less risk to sell, and all of a sudden, you've got a whole store by selling, you know, 20 mids compared to one guy selling a pair of Travis Scott shoes, and that will pay off so much better for you in the long run. Obviously, this whole video was just my opinion. I would love you guys to drop some comments on, you know, what are your tips for resellers. So if any of you want to come into the industry and become sneaker resellers, have a look in the comments. I'll try and pin some of the best ones. And yeah, like I said, like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in another video.